Mark, it's time to bring it back. Our REK-RAP recap. Tell us what happened in this issue.
Well, I got to give you like an opportunity to go in your hyperbaric chamber and restore your voice. So I will take my sweet time with this recap. Anyway, we open in Queens. A fist knocks on the door, and a meek gentleman answers. The knocker is conducting an investigation. He needs the person to look in the attic. And before he refuses, he wants the person to know that while he looks like a private investigator, he's actually wearing a disguise. Dear God, the man says, and that man speaks for all of us when we get the official return of REK-RAP. Woo! Don't woo, Dan, you'll hurt yourself. The man accuses REK-RAP of destroying property across the city. But before REK-RAP can defend himself, the Grave Goblin shows up. REK-RAP never hides except when in disguise, so it's throwing hands time. That brings us over to the Limbo Embassy and Mayor Luke Cage. I mean, look, you can try and pretend this is an improvement over Mayor Eric Adams, and I would want to ask you, is Luke Cage a vegan? Anyway, Luke is meeting with Madeline Pryor and Spider-Man about the ghoul and demon problem in New York City. Madeline is unimpressed with Spider-Man's negotiation tactics, and I'm equally unimpressed by all the references this story is making to Dark Web. So color us both unimpressed. As it turns out, Madeline has hired an agent to hunt down these delinquent demons. Spidey and Cage debrief before Cage tells Spidey to hold back since Wilson Fisk laws from his reign of terror make Spider-Man an illegal superhero. Love the civics lesson here, Marvel. Anyway, Cage goes on about how hard it is for him to change the laws, but in that exact moment he sends me 11 text messages asking me to donate to his re-election campaign and reminds me if I show up in off-year elections and vote for city council, maybe, just maybe, he can submit a bill that will change the law back before the Magia Party filibusters it. Anyway, this talk of politics is depressing me more than the earlier talk of Dark Web, so let's just get on with the recap. New scene, and we get some close-up visuals of some eyes, and speaking of wacky political references from Amazing Spider Talk, it's Silvermane! Love those polls for Silvermane lately, Dan. Anyway, Hammerhead! Ed McGuinness is having way too much fun drawing a disembodied geriatric head. And Silvermane also reminds us that the Magia will be reborn, and we're gonna make Magia great again? I don't know. Anyway, back to Limbo in the Garden of Jagged Souls, and Madeline is tending to the soil in high heels. She summons the Repossessor, and collectors everywhere are getting excited. New character, woo! Spider-Man is now in Queens, back at the house where we started. He's trying to get a rundown of what exactly happened there. Cut over to the East Village, and REK-RAP is investigating and licking the side of the building, and really, who among us? Spidey is none too happy to see REK-RAP around, but before they can more fully express their feelings, Dr. Octoball shows up, and we get another throwdown. That's when the Repossessor shows up, and very scarily absorbs Octoball and spits him out, causing him immense pain. REK-RAP is very afraid the same thing is going to happen to him, and despite Spidey's assurances to the contrary, the Repossessor assures REK-RAP that, in fact, that same fate is waiting for him. So Spider-Man saves his good buddy, old REK-RAP, but then the Repossessor says he knows Spidey, and the last panel is him uttering the words, Parker. So that is your REK-RAP recap, with lots of political intrigue. Thanks to my scatological brain, Dan.
Way to be a New Yorker, Mark.